feeling great. Societal conditionings. The conditionings by which we live our life. What do we learn as we go through life? What do we learn? What do we absorb? What do we pick up on? What are the patterns that we repeat? These questions must be asked if you want to live a life of your choosing. Why am I bringing this up? Many of us, most of us, if not all of us, are societally conditioned in many different ways. We pick up on different ways of being from our environments, whether it be friends, family, coworkers, whatever it may be, right? All the way from a kid, a baby in the household, up to a kid in school, to a teenager at school and sports and whatever else, right? All the way up to adults and jobs they hate and jobs they love, right? We learn ways of being. We are conditioned to be certain ways, right? What is societal conditioning? A societal conditioning is a learned behavior based off of social proof, right? It is the generalization of a way of being that is correct by a certain perceived standard of a certain social group, right? Social proof, which is basically there being proof of something because other people are doing it, is one of the major influential factors of humans, right? Many of us, it is used against us, right? Subconsciously, we react to the world, the sensory world, based off of this based off of this happening, and we react to it in a negative way. This is known as what I will call societal conditioning. It's been talked about a lot recently. It is very much ingrained in our society, right? Another way to think about it is basically following along with whatever society does habitually, right? A simple way to think about this. Public speaking. We are all very scared. Most people are very scared and afraid to speak publicly because of the societal condition that we think of, right? We have the spotlight effect. We think, the spotlight effect is not much of a thing with public speaking because you are on the spotlight, right? We are so worried about what everybody is watching us that is thinking about us, right? That's one of the reasons. We're worried about what that person thinks, if we're looking good, if what our appearance is, what we're going to say. I mean, there's all these things to worry about, right? The societal conditioning is being worried about everybody else's perception of us, all right? Now, of course, we should interact with society, right? 100%, of course. We should not be weirdos that don't know how to operate at all. But societal conditions for most people, they harm their self-expression. They harm their way of being, of being themselves in their own way. This is very harmful. This is very dangerous in the sense of community expression, communal expression. Because what happens is, the more people you feeling a lack of self-expression, the more people that continue to not express themselves. Right? It's like a habit. It's a learned behavior from these different groups, right? And it manifests itself more so, right? And some leader comes along, or there's natural leaders that are better at this. They are better at leading than others naturally because of their upbringing, because of whatever it may be. And if you look at them, they're not as conditioned by society, at least in the ways that are inhibiting your self-expression, right? So that's the kind of a basic understanding, right? That's all you can think about that in terms of, in basic sense, right? My point of bringing it up was bringing light to the fact that most of us are societally conditioned to limit all expression of the self, to limit all of our power that we have. We know we've heard the saying 1,000 times, there are power in numbers. But we all seem to feel powerless in our own individual ways. So what happens? We actually end up powerless. What's happening in America in particular, more than ever nowadays? Division. Division from every fucking front you can imagine. That is, if you ask me, the point of the news, the point of politics is completely about division at this point. We won't get into that. What I am talking about is the societal conditioning that prevents you from understanding who you are and who you truly want to be in this life, and therefore limiting your power, limiting how much expression you can have on the world, limiting how much you think you can even do, right? Learning the behaviors of succumbing to failure and just staying comfortable, staying in the same normal box you always have because it's comfortable and it's safe. That is a learned behavior, bro. Learned. It's absolutely learned. We watch our tribe, we watch the people who are around, and we learn from them in whatever way we do. There's 10 followers to every leader. That might be 100 followers to every leader nowadays, or 1,000 followers to every leader. And with the lessening of standards that is nowadays, because of the lessening of accountability, the more followers, well, that standard is going down and down and down and down. So that means the standard and average of people is lessening in many ways. So therefore, the leaders are weaker and the average people are weaker. That's a recipe for disaster. You add that on top of the division and everything else. Again, it's a recipe for disaster. Societal conditions should not control your life. Societal conditions should not be the reason you never learn how to express yourself. Sometimes you got to stop and ask yourself, am I doing this? Am I not doing something because of my societal conditioning? Because I'm aware and are worried about what these people like perceivably think about me? Fuck worrying about that stuff, man. Do you know how quickly people move on to the next thing that's entertaining them? We have the attention span of goldfish nowadays. Remove the societal conditioning, right? Because a lot of times what happens is, and I know in my process, this was very true for me, I felt cliche, I felt odd, I felt weird, I felt the societal pressure when starting new habits. In particular, habits like meditation, journaling, reading, 3 of the major ones, they felt so weird and against the norm, right? And against just not right. Now, part of that was, a new habit, doing something new. But what I'm talking about was the pressure I felt doing these things in public or doing these things just in general that I wouldn't fit in doing them. It reigns in the back of our head at times. Now, thankfully, I made the decision to push past these fucking idiotic feelings and actually build these habits and allow them to be fruitful for myself. But I very easily could have given up simply because of that pressure from society. So, I hope this kind of helps you think about something. I hope this helps you understand if you have a societal conditioning and whether or not you should work on it, how to work on it, that kind of thing. Just really the way you work on it is just breathing into it. I guess I didn't mention that much. Breathe into it, acknowledge that you are going against it, and continue on, right? Just slowly but surely, 1 or 2 steps at a time. Breathe into it, remain calm. Whatever your calming down method is, that will definitely help. Of course, as long as it's not one that creates stress in another way, like drinking and smoking, right? Remain calm and just continue on, brother. It's up to you to make the difference. Checking out, guys. I hope you guys have a great day. It's nighttime here, but I wanted to make another video, and I hope it helps. See you later. Go get it.